It starts early, far earlier than we realize. A child wakes up one morning, still half lost in the dream world, and hears a voice that will echo for the rest of their life. Wake up. You're late for school. That's where it begins, the quiet conditioning. The slow shaping of a human being into a cog that will one day fit perfectly into a system they never chose. From the first bell that rings, from the first grade that defines them, we begin the rat race. Not on the day we get a job, not when we pay our first bill, but the very moment we enter school. We don't notice it at first. We're too busy coloring within the lines, memorizing facts, raising our hands for permission to speak. We're told it's all for our own good. That school is the foundation of success. That education is freedom. But slowly, quietly, something else takes root: obedience, standardization, fear of failure. We stop asking why, and start asking how much. How much do I need to score to pass? How much will this degree cost me? How much will I earn once I get a job? Without realizing it, we trade curiosity for conformity. The modern rat race doesn't start in the office, it starts in the classroom. Our creativity, once boundless, gets trimmed down to fit the syllabus. Our sense of wonder gets replaced with anxiety over grades. We begin to measure ourselves not by who we are, but by how well we perform compared to others. And when we finally step into adulthood, the race only gets faster. Now it's not grades, it's income. Not gold stars, but job titles. Not a teacher's approval, but society's applause. We learn to chase, endlessly, breathlessly. A better car, a bigger house, a higher salary. And somewhere in that endless pursuit, we forget why we started running in the first place. The rat race is not about survival. It's about illusion, the illusion that happiness is always one promotion away. That peace is waiting just after the next paycheck. But every time we reach what we thought was the finish line, another one appears. A faster, shinier version of success replaces the last one. We don't live, we endure. We don't breathe, we chase. We don't question, we comply. And if we ever dare to stop running, the world calls us lazy, unambitious, or a failure. Because in a society built on competition, rest is rebellion. But how did we get here? How did a species capable of poetry, art, and love become trapped in an endless loop of work and consumption? The answer lies in conditioning, a system designed not to free your mind, but to harness it. School was never about curiosity. It was about conformity. It wasn't built to create thinkers, it was built to create workers. Think about it: the bell schedule, the report cards, the emphasis on obedience, punctuality, and performance. The entire structure mirrors the corporate world you're expected to enter. You're trained to follow instructions, not question authority. To memorize, not to imagine. To compete, not to connect. We are prepared not for life, but for labor. There's a story, maybe you've heard it before. A man spends his entire life working. He wakes up at dawn, sits in traffic, spends his days at a desk, and returns home too tired to live. One day, at 65, he finally retires. He buys a small house near the sea. He sits outside with a cup of tea and watches the sunrise. And in that silence, he wonders, what was it all for? The tragedy isn't that he worked. Work can be beautiful, meaningful, creative. The tragedy is that he never chose his own race. He ran someone else's path. And maybe, we all do. From childhood, we're told what success looks like. Get good grades, go to college, get a stable job. But no one tells us what enough looks like. Because the system doesn't want you to stop running. If you stop, you might start thinking. And if you start thinking, you might start seeing. Seeing that money isn't freedom if you spend your life earning it just to survive. Seeing that comfort isn't peace if it costs your soul. Seeing that education isn't wisdom if it kills your curiosity. We're told we're free, yet our choices are pre-packaged. Pick your major, pick your job, pick your mortgage. All neatly within the lanes of the same endless highway. And somewhere along the way, the child who once dreamed of flying becomes an adult afraid to even look up. Philosophers have been warning us about this for centuries. Nietzsche spoke of the last man, a creature of comfort, safety, and mediocrity who avoids all risk and passion, content only to exist. Marx called it alienation, the separation of man from his work, his creativity, and his true self. And Kierkegaard spoke of despair, the quiet kind, the one that comes not from suffering, but from living a life that isn't truly yours. We are living in their prophecy. We are the last men of Nietzsche's vision, busy, safe, and spiritually numb. The irony is, technology was supposed to free us. Machines were meant to handle the labor so humans could pursue art, love, and philosophy. But instead, we became machines ourselves, optimized, efficient, exhausted. Every click tracked. Every second monetized. Even rest has become productivity now. Meditation apps, sleep tracking, self-care routines. We have turned even peace into performance. And still, the question echoes. What are we racing toward? Maybe the answer lies not in escaping the race, but in refusing to run it blindly. What if success wasn't measured by wealth, but by peace of mind? What if education wasn't about memorization, but about awakening? What if work wasn't about survival, but about creation? Imagine a child entering school, not to learn how to compete, but to understand themselves, to explore the beauty of existence, to question, to fail, to dream. A system that values curiosity over conformity, creativity over compliance. Because a mind that questions cannot be controlled. It's not easy to step out of the rat race. The path of awareness is heavy. You'll be called unrealistic. You'll be told to grow up. You'll feel the pressure to fit in, to catch up, to speed up. But the truth is, the moment you stop chasing, you begin living. When you no longer run after success, you start walking toward meaning. When you stop trying to fit in, you begin to find yourself. You realize that freedom isn't found in the paycheck, the promotion, or the applause. Freedom begins when you can look at the world and say, I refuse to be another cog. There's a quiet rebellion in slowing down. In waking up and asking, what do I truly want? Maybe it's not a mansion, maybe it's not millions, maybe it's time. Time to think. Time to create. Time to feel. Because the most valuable currency isn't money, it's attention. And the rat race steals it every day. We don't notice the theft because everyone around us is running too. But deep down, you feel it, that whisper of unease when you sit alone, that sense that life is slipping by faster than you can live it. That's your soul asking you to stop. To breathe. To remember that you are not a number, not a worker, not a product, but a person. We've been taught to fear failure, but the greater fear should be success without meaning. A life where you achieve everything society told you to want, and still feel empty. So maybe the real revolution isn't outside. Maybe it's inside. In the way we define success, in the courage to question, in the decision to live deliberately. The rat race thrives on distraction. Awareness destroys it. Every generation has a chance to redefine what matters. If we can teach our children not just to pass exams but to think, truly think, we can break the cycle. If we can value depth over speed, purpose over profit, we can build a world where life isn't just about surviving, but about being fully alive. It's time to remember what school forgot to teach us. That we are not here just to work, pay bills, and die. We are here to create, to question, to love, to experience the mystery of being human. So stop running. Look around. Listen. The race was never real. The cage was never locked. And the door has always been open. Final line, to camera, soft tone. The rat race starts at school, but awakening begins the moment you ask why you're running at all. Tell me, have you stopped to ask yourself yet?